Hello, everyone, and welcome one and all back to the Dr. Nasser Shake Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nasser. This video, what I want to basically do is, was posted by Amy Kremer. I believe the information is from Ryan Zerdusky and Gresky, and I guess he's got a Substack out there as well. I'll leave you with that link. We'll go over that too. But basically, it's talking about what can be done in terms of Georgia and how close it was. Trump only lost it by 11,779 votes, folks. And as you can see here, I'm going to highlight some of this as we go through. It's kind of small, but there are 14 districts in Georgia. Trump won District 1, District 3. Obviously, you see these in red. Biden won them in blue. He won District 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 14. If you take a look at the percentages, in District 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which is the one that Biden won in, Trump in District 4 only got 20% of the vote, folks, 20% of the vote only. In District 5, 12.6%. In District 6, 43.6, District 7, 46.2. In District 13, I got 23.4% of the vote. Now, if he had just upped his percentages by just a tenth or 2/10 of a point, he would have been able to make up that 11,779. And you can talk about all the other things that they talk about, the growth of the black population in Metro Atlanta, the suburbanites moving away, as she talks about this. We all talk about all the COVID, changes in terms of the rules and regulations and, what constitutes a ballot, whether or not the mail-in ballot needs to have a chain of custody, whether or not, ballot harvesting, all that stuff, okay? We all know that occurred. Be that as it may, you go down here and you take a look here, say that Biden won north of 75% of the vote in Metro Atlanta. He won between 52 to 56% in the other three suburban and rural districts that he won, which is right inside here. Here he's winning 75% of the vote. But the thing is that Trump voters didn't come out to vote for Trump in the Biden districts. And even in the Trump districts that were dominated out in the rural areas, they still didn't come out for him as much as they did prior to in 2016. Now here's what we're talking about. Trump's districts delivered 356,000 votes. In other words, 62% of all registered voters turned out in 2020 to cast their ballots for him. But the neighborhoods in and around Atlanta that voted for Biden report an average of 364,000 votes, or 67% of all registered voters. So that was plus 5 in terms of registered voters who actually came out. Biden was plus 5 in that. Now, the second congressional district was the only one with substantially fewer votes and lower turnout than other places that voted for Biden. It only had a 52% turnout. Now, the reason for that is they're saying the district is unique because it's rural. It's becoming more Republican as years go on. Romney lost it by 18 points. Trump only lost it by 13. Now, Governor Brian Kemp lost it by 12 points to Stacey Abrams, of only 4 points in 2022 when they had their rematch. So a big part, and this is what I'm saying, is that Trump's problem is 4 red districts. And the increasingly reddening blue district, those districts, they had an abysmal turnout. Those blue districts that are increasingly getting red had a very, very bad turnout. Because they said Trump won districts 1, 8, 12, and 14 by double digits. But their turnout was less than 60%. Less than 60%. Biden, on the average, as we said before, he was getting 67% of all registered voters. Trump, even in the districts that he won by double digits, he only got 60%. Can you imagine what would have happened if in those 4 districts, 1, 8, 12, and 14, that he won by double digits? If he was at 61 or 62 or 63%, what could have happened? You're only talking 11,779 votes, folks. And here's this map. Now, she goes on to say, had all these Republican districts matched the turnout in other Republican parts of the state, Trump would have won the state by over 25,000 votes, even if you take into effect that the additional votes had given both Biden and Trump the exact percentages they had initially. And that's what this is talking about here. Trump district vote total. All the votes from districts 1, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. And as you talk about Biden districts, here in blue. Now it goes on to say that had all those additional votes been broken for Trump, let's say he had a get out the vote strategy, specifically in the rural parts of the state, he would have won the state by 130,000 vote margin. And that doesn't include if Trump worked on pulling, as we go here, go here, if he had gotten more rural white voters from District 2, could have possibly flipped that congressional districts. And I said, even though these districts have changed since 2020, the 6th congressional district is significantly more Republican. The 7th is much more Democratic. We all say this, Trump's victory needs to rely on turning out rural parts of the state in the same way Democrats are bringing voters in the metro Atlanta to the polls. If you examine the 2020 numbers with the new congressional lines, there are plenty more votes for Trump to pull in from the red county. He just needs to get them to show up. As I said before, you take a look here. Registered voters, mostly in the 500,000 to more in each of these districts. But you're only getting like a 57%. District 6, 81% of registered voters showed up. It's just a matter of turnout, folks. It's just a matter of turnout. That's what has to happen. Trump has got to be able to pull this. With Governor Kemp, they've done some things in terms of election integrity. They've done a tremendous amount. They've got their election control, the election board for the state of Georgia. They've revamped a lot of things, put in a lot of, controls in there. Let's hope that the shenanigans that were pulled in 2020 do not surface again in 2024. But the bottom line is, if Trump can galvanize, let's say, folks, just another percent, folks, 11,779 votes, that's all that did. Registrations are up among Republicans more than Democrats. So we're just going to have to take and see. Early voting, when that occurs, let's see what the numbers are. We'll see what's happening in terms of that. But right now, I believe that he is winning Georgia. And in the end, I think he's going to take Georgia somewhere between 3 to 5 points. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasser. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, like, share, and follow. You all know what to do. Take a look at our video links above and below. My final thought is always, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.